This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, December 7th, 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Iowa Senator Joni Ernst has released data that shows across 24 government departments and agencies, not a single one was at 50% capacity in their buildings in the first 3 months of this year. Stephen Dinan reports the Department of Homeland Security's headquarters in Washington sits nearly 70% vacant, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development headquarters is 93% vacant. The General Services Administration controls more than 90 million square feet of office space in the Washington region alone, and the government holds about 511 million square feet of space across the nation. Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares says he has seismic concerns about Washington, D.C.'s year-long spike in shootings, robberies, and carjackings. Matt Delaney reports violent car thefts are a particular concern, he said. Virginians commuting to D.C. have been targeted at red lights, gas stations, and along the city's side streets, according to Miyares. Miyares said the steady drumbeat of crime has contributed to a spirit of lawlessness in Washington. The result is that a growing number of suburban Virginia residents keep their trips to the city short, if they go at all. Former President Trump's commanding lead in the Republican presidential primary is increasing warnings that he would operate like a dictator in his second term. Dave Boyer reports the New York Times and Washington Post have recently published articles previewing a Trump dictatorship. The Atlantic also said this week it would devote its upcoming issue to articles forecasting Trump's harmful impact on civil rights, the Justice Department, and more if he is elected again. To many Republicans, the charge is an effort to scare into action Democratic voters who are unenthusiastic about re-electing President Biden next year. U.S. national security officials say they've made significant changes to their experiments on human subjects. Army scientist Kimberly Odom told our Ryan Lovelace that the Defense Department's experiments involving human subjects are moral and lawful. Officials say there are rules in place that prevent the type of experiments performed in countries such as China, which in 2021 blended human and monkey genetic material. Other examples of research on humans involve genetics, interrogation science, and tests of facial recognition and algorithms. And finally, civilian volunteers in the Philippines have assembled a Christmas convoy to sail west and challenge Chinese ships patrolling nearby. Andrew Salmon reports Philippine Coast Guard vessels will reportedly escort the civilian fleet of some 40 boats. The convoy will depart on Sunday. Expansive Chinese sovereignty claims in recent years in the West Philippine Sea have raised popular indignation. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, comment, and for the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.